Yo, what's up, motherfuckers?
What up,
Again with the curse word at the
Demonetized.
Demonetized.
Demonetized Pop. That's the name of the show now.
$50 less.
Demonetized pop. The Make No Money podcast. The free. So welcome to another Pop Trap. The podcast where we as El Pasoans talk about pop culture bullshit and just try to make sense out of everything in the rest of America.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
the
exactly what the
point of
podcast is about. So you got it right there, right on the money. But I guess we have Dr. Porn here for a while, since the first podcast. Since the first podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so since the first podcast, he's back. I mean, he's been in some game trap, I guess.
I'm always in game traps, except for the past
For the ones where I'm alone.
Yeah,
And then the
except
one
for
that I did
those.
with him that hasn't come out.
That's a game trap?
Except for the ones you're
It's a
taking
game
a
trap.
prayer for me.
So anyways, well, I am the creep.
Dr. Porn.
And I'm Sucio.
Are you? Are you dirty?
Well, depends on who you ask.
You a dirty boy. You a dirty
I gotta
boy.
tell you, your cousin's beefier looking in person. I don't know if you see him on the thing, but you should see him in person. He looks like a stud muffin. So watch out.
Watch out. So watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out, motherfuckers. And we
Wow.
also have fucking Herman Munster right here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a
I can like zoom
new
into it.
acquisition.
Shout out.
Shout out to Funko.
Special spotlight. Herman
Oh, I was like, we
Munster.
didn't even see if it had the sticker.
No, it doesn't.
No, they don't have
What?
stickers no more.
No
Not
more?
anymore. Now you need to check them on the inside, right? Like open it.
You gotta remember that the original sticker was like a distributing mark, so
Oh,
certain
okay.
people knew where it came from.
Alright.
So they didn't have them, and a lot of people forgot about them.
So they just fucking stopped that.
They got taken off because people were like, "Oh, they fucking up the box," and then they fuck up the box. They stain the thing.
Yeah.
Wow, but what about the engraving one?
Was it the same deal? Yeah, because there's some
one
of them
that's
that have an
engraved.
engraving right here with the number.
Well, like it's all about your end. Sorry, we're gonna get right into nerdy shit. We're gonna go into
The Funko Pop.
talk.
Well, I that's what I actually wanted to do because I want to talk about some of the experiences that we've had with some of
the pups.
the huntings that we did. Let me just put them in here so that we.
Oh, I got plenty of experiences.
I don't want to fucking block like.
Block me, dog.
Nah,
Send
it won't block.
Send the King Homer, man. That's the
It won't
biggest
block
one.
you. Dude. Let me-
You know, I thought the King.
maybe
Homer,
that one won't block you.
We'll put him like that.
I thought King Homer was gonna be way bigger.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what everybody
expecting,
thought,
man.
dude.
We imagine like, well, King Homer's gonna be like the big one,
But-
like the Hobgoblin
but-
from Spider-Man, and no.
They're gonna make the Bartzilla.
Oh,
you
yeah?
know- well, that's the thing. Is
Oh,
that's, so they make Bartzilla from Bart's Nightmare, and you know that's gonna be like one
That's
of
gotta
the
be a
hottest
huge
fucking
one,
thing.
man. Yeah.
And it has to be a big 10-inch.
There's no fucking light. I'm sorry. The lights are only for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So shout out Funko on the Simpsons. Funko's coming out with all this stuff. I think right now is one of the craziest times because I had
What's with
stopped
these two?
collecting. Right.
Yeah.
I ordered all this stuff and I said, okay, I'm gonna pre-order shit and whatever comes out, that's it. I'm gonna stop. And then all of a sudden they came out with a ton of other stuff that you're like, oh fuck it, can't
Yeah.
believe that now I
And-
gotta get another 50 things.
And
That's what
there's a lot
happened.
There's a lot of the exclusive ones now, because every time I go to Walgreens, at least there's one there that has the exclusive Walgreens sticker on it.
There's
Like-
fucking exclusives for everything.
Like Herman.
Barnes
right
and
here.
Noble exclusives. The fuck, man.
Well, there was something about Walgreens exclusives that were considered one of the most difficult ones to get.
Yeah,
I don't
because the
remember
fucking
why.
workers fucking take them,
Yeah.
dude.
They just keep them on the back and then sell them on the back.
Dude, for real, because I would go in, I was telling him that there was this one. I don't remember if it was Mysterio. I thought it was Mysterio, but I think it was even older than that, dude. And I wanted that fucking pop, and it was a Walgreens exclusive, but I've never ever seen it in my life, ever, ever, dude. And I was like, when the fuck did this shit come out, dude? And apparently, like, one of my friends that sells, he used to sell toys, he fucking told me, he's like, oh, it's because this guy basically, like, got the box, just fucking bought the whole box, and then just fucking, like, resold them. I was like, well, that's fucked up. They
What a
shouldn't
dude.
be able to do that shit, you know? I was like,
Well,
they should at least give it
now,
a chance.
Well, now Funko has a policy that all distributors have to agree that they can't collect things and they can't put them out and they can't save shit because if they find out, like, I mean, they're talking like boxes, you know,
Yeah.
one or two, you know, people are getting one or two saved on the side. Everybody knows that,
yeah, but that's
but it's not two,
That's the
three
same as
boxes
everything
of
else.
it.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, so everybody's come to an agreement. You can't have that. So shout out Funko for doing that. You know, we got a lot of people getting limit 1, limit 2s for the convention stuff, and people are getting stuff. Like I got stuff this time. This is the first run for SDCC that I actually got almost everything I wanted. I just missing one thing, the up with Ellie and Carl when they're little kids and shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the only one I'm missing. But this is the first time in like the 3 years of collecting that I actually got everything I wanted.
Do you want the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's Golden Freddy? Because I want to sell that shit. It's
I
a
don't-
San
I
Diego
don't-
Comic Con exclusive from like 2016.
Yeah, that's an old one.
Shit.
Dude, I don't fuck with Five Nights. But this is okay. now
I
we're
just
gonna-
like the Golden Freddy. That's all. Because
had-
he's gold.
I saw the TV one.
He's fucking gold, man.
Yeah.
There was a TV one, and it looked so badass that it was like a Toys R Us exclusive, and it was the TV, and I was like, that's fucking cool, but I don't collect Five Nights at Freddy. It would just be a dick move to get a Five Nights at Freddy fucking thing.
No, I only like Golden Freddy. Like I have the action figure, and I have bought that shit.
Why is he golden? Is this like a story plot, or is that him? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like because he's like a ghost. I think he's the only one that's an actual ghost. That's like
that has the little kid inside?
he doesn't. No, it's because they all have little kids. They're all the animatronics are like possessed by kids that died there.
Yeah.
But Golden Freddy is not an actual animatronic. He's just like a complete ghost. All the other ones are possessed. He's a ghost. He's like the main ghost, I would say, of the first. Because like he's the one that just appears out of nowhere.
I played Five Nights at Freddy. I don't really know the storyline to it. I've helped my little cousins play it.
I never got into it.
There is a like a fucking explanation, like videos of the whole story, like up to now. It's pretty interesting because it's creepy shit, dude. Kids just play it because they think it's like this scary thing.
Well, the thing is a horror. Is it a horror game?
Yeah, but the fucking story, it's like fucking deep and it's like really dark and shit. Like all these like children abuse and all
So it
this
was
shit.
like
Yeah.
So it was like the 411 in that. I never got into it. So
No, well, I mean, they're.
there's like
There-
something
I
went
think
wrong
that
with
what
the
it's cool
machines
is
or
that
what?
it's like a simple game. You just fucking.
All you're tapping is left and right, but at the same time, it's like
But yeah,
A
but you
pattern.
can't move. So, but it's like you can't move from where you are. So it's like more scary that you don't know what to fucking do because it's not like you can just run away from whatever's coming.
you have to look at it.
So you just have to be moving all the time. But the thing at the beginning, it was like that the animatronics were just possessed or whatever, and they're just trying to fucking kill you for like no reason. But like as the games go, because it's not like as the story goes in the first one, because you can just play it without paying attention to the story, you're just surviving. But all of them have a fucking like deep fucking story, dude. There's
Okay.
like it's deep.
So
And
what
it's,
happened?
like, all
What
these
happened with
fucking-
the RPG version? Did you ever play that?
Yeah, it was the
But that was, like-
FNAF World.
It was like a fun, super fun game.
Well, they did it to try to explain. It's because that fucking guy. I would almost tell you the one that does the game. He's one guy. He doesn't have help out.
Five Nights.
The only game that he had somebody else develop was the VR, the last one.
Okay.
The help wanted, and that's only because he probably doesn't know how to fucking do VR games, you know. But all the games he did by himself. Scott Coffin, he's the only fucking guy, and he fucking orchestrated this whole fucking story from the first game. He knew what he was gonna do for the whole fucking thing, dude. It's like this complicated ass fucking story, dude.
Oh, I've always been a fan of like Myst and Revan.
They're
Well-
kind of like that, I guess.
Well, these have a
Like point and
mechanic
click?
of a scare
Uh-huh.
mechanic, and I also love the Clock Tower. I don't know if you ever played
Oh,
Clock
yeah.
Tower for the PS1 for the first PlayStation,
Yeah, we were joking about that the other day.
and it was like,
Well, the first one was for Super Nintendo, and then
was it really?
Yeah, it's a
And then it
16-bit,
came-
and it was fucking crappy because you had to use like a mouse too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could actually use it because I know there's a mouse. There is a mouse for the Super Nintendo, but
Okay.
it was fucking like the mouse would like fucking it was like super slow that you had to do, and then like some of the traps were like really cheap, like because you didn't know that there was gonna be a trap there, like it wasn't nothing obvious or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
that to tell you. So you would just
It's just
be
a
running,
blank-
and then
A
something would
blank
just come out.
gray
Yeah.
square.
And there was this big guy with big scissors. It started getting a little crazy after the PlayStation one. It
well,
started getting
the
a little
PlayStation
weird.
1 was still kind of the same as the
It was
16-bit
kind of
one.
the same.
Just better graphics.
It
and
was,
then,
it was a very improved model, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was, and then.
But the fucking Scissor Man was never. I don't think he was ever like that creepy. I think it was like Japan trying to make like a slasher.
Well, you know the weird thing about that game is there's a lot of solo time. where you're just walking around by yourself, and that's almost the scarier part because you're like,
Because you know
this
what's
fool's
gonna
gonna
pop out.
fucking come
Yeah.
out, and it's just like, okay, hurry up, and it's like it doesn't come out. It's just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then I think in PlayStation 2, that's when the other one came out, and it was just more like Resident Evil. Even the Caesar guy looks like kind of like Nemesis.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I think Scissor Man doesn't come out in 2. They start changing.
No,
and then
they
I
did.
think in 3,
Hold
it's
on.
where he
Girl.
comes out back again.
Okay, but did you play Fatal Frame?
Oh yeah.
Fatal Frame were fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's really the height or like the beginning, where it's like this is how good games have to be, where if they want to be horror games, you have to be up close and personal. The mechanic has to be interesting. The story
Fatal
has
Frame,
to be
dude.
good.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect, dude, for the Wii U.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah,
of the
that would've-
fucking whole camera, like if it could be your camera that just the Wii U, and then on the TV.
I'm
like
amazed
if-
they haven't done that.
well,
I'm
because the
actually gonna
fucking
look
Wii U
now.
failed, failed fucking hard, dude, until the Switch, and the Switch you can't use both screens at the same time. They should come up with something where you could like put your phone, you know, like your phone connected to it or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like the Microsoft.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
you
like
get
put your phone
down
on
there.
top of the TV, and then maybe you could see the ghosts on your phone that you can't see on the fucking TV screen.
That would be fucking badass.
That'd be
huh?
fucking badass, dude. But
They could make it like the Pokemon Go and just
Did
walk
you ever-
around the whole town looking for the fucking ghost. But
Did
it
you
only
ever-
works at night.
did you ever play Deadly Premonition, dude?
No.
That one is like not like really good gameplay or whatever,
Hmm.
but the fucking story is batshit crazy, and it's because it's inspired by Twin Peaks. So it's like a really Twin Peaksy fucking game, dude. But it's fucking badass.
Okay, where's the dancing guy at? Come on.
Dude, shit like that happens.
You
in that
can't
game.
you can't skip the cutscenes. It's gonna fuck with your mind.
The thing is, like, it's like a fucking zombie game almost.
Okay.
But it's all and the acting is the same as in Twin Peaks, like all shitty. It's fucking crazy.
Well, you know, in the realm of these
Pass me a
games,
monster, bitch.
these
What flavor?
Surprise. Keep talking, Ro.
in the oh shit, I broke. You see, I break things.
You
know?
broke it. Nah,
Fucking
it'll
sorry.
turn on right now, dude.
So
It'll come back up.
so yeah. Anyway, in the frame of these games,
Like, just move it like that.
did you ever play
Doesn't want to do it.
in the frame of these games? Sorry, I told you I fucking break shit. I'm sorry. Anyways,
It'll come up right now.
there was
but
a game called Night Trap. Did you ever play Night
yeah.
Trap?
That's where
That's
we're
where we
basing
got
this
the name.
podcast
That's
on.
yeah. I've heard a bunch of your things, but I remember playing that game and being like, "Wow, this is so intense! Like this is just like a movie. I'm fucking can't."
That's like it's just fucking bothering me that it doesn't turn on.
Hold on, I'll fix it.
It's just the connection, dude. You
Sorry.
didn't break it.
Wobbly in the
You
back.
just didn't break it, dude. It's just a connection. I'll edit this out. But anyways, just say again now about Night Trap. There you go.
Anyways, Night Trap. I remember
We're talking
always
about Night Trap.
completely surprising me, and I must have been like 7 or 8 when this came out, because my cousin would always buy. He had a Neo Geo. He had a fucking a Saturn. Like he always had the Jaguar. I remember my cousin was spending like thousands of dollars on video.
Yeah,
games.
Night Trap came out,
You
I
got
think
the
on
Jaguar?
Sega CD, dude.
I think it's sometimes in the 90s. It had to be 6 or 7.
Did
was
you know
the-
they re-released it, dude, for Switch, for like PlayStation 4 and shit?
Well, that's weird. And like now I'm finding you're telling me stuff, and I'm finding that things are upgraded, but they're not necessarily that upgraded.
No, this one is not upgraded.
It's just
Just the
It's
an
the
same
same
export,
game.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same game, dude. It's a fucking shitty ass game. It's one of the games that started the whole parents being worried about like
It did
violence
came out,
and
it
shit
did came
on
out for PlayStation
on fucking
4.
video games. Not even fucking
Well, dudes
playing.
are coming out with knives and
No, they don't have shit, dude.
Well,
They're like
they're
these alien
choking-
guys with like these kinds of masks. But they're like aliens. They even like walk weird and shit.
In
They're all
Night
dressed
Trap?
in black.
Yeah.
Really? I
They're
remember
not
them
trying to
being-
like fucking rape or anything.
I remember a chick. I remember the zombie game too. That was like Zombie Hunter.
It's called Cannibal
Oh,
something.
wow.
And I ordered
Oh,
that
wow.
one. It's because they re-released it and it looks like that too.
Oh,
Dude, this is what I based the whole podcast on Night Trap. That's why I call it Night Trap
I-
podcast.
I can't believe. You know, I talk about things to people, and I remember saying like, "Wow, like it's rare that motherfuckers know what I'm talking about." But luckily nowadays, you didn't have to be there at like your crazy cousin's house who collects video games and is like obsessed. Like nobody really had that opportunity. You
No,
know?
I fucking for a while I collected like way too many games. I sold most of them by
I
now.
was doing the same thing, and
But-
then I got like fuck, I need to buy clothes now because I started selling my clothes so I can put more shit on the closet.
Yeah, that's almost
I
what.
went like, fuck this, I need half of
It's
this
almost
space
what is
now.
happening right now with the pops.
Yeah.
But for me, it was video games. And then the fucking. The thing is, like, pops come out, they're new. And you know they'll be $9.99 to $12.99.
Yeah.
Maybe fucking $14.99 if it's like this, like San
If it's-
Diego
yeah.
Comic Con or whatever.
Mhm.
But at least you know that, you know, like coming, you have a chance to get them at retail price.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fucking old games, you don't. Unless you get
No, it
lucky
gets
with
to a
somebody that's
point
selling
that
a lot.
Now
dude.
they're ridiculous.
Somebody
Like,
that's selling a lot and that's
Oh,
just
it's a
like, I
game
want to
from
get rid of this
Nintendo.
box. Maybe. But nowadays, everybody's so fucking woke about fucking video games that they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll sell you like Super Mario Bros. For $80. And you're like, you don't know shit, dude. You know there's like a
Like,
million Mario Brothers out there. Fucking idiots.
Like, what's the name of that video game from Nintendo? The World Champions or something like that?
What? Which one? World Cup?
No.
Is it a sports game?
Yeah,
oh no,
that
the
has a bunch
Nintendo
of
World
them.
Championship.
Yeah, that one. A new story just came out. Like some old guy in New York went to with a paperback to sell that game he found in the attic. But it was like one of the rare cartridges, the one that has just the black and white sticker on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like.
So the store that
25,000.
were there, they find out like it was legit. So they even opened it to make sure all the chips were there.
Yeah.
So they were cool with that guy. They went like, yeah, this is a really rare game. So they gave him $13,000 for it. As soon as they uploaded it onto their Facebook page, people started just calling and going there. They haven't revealed how much they sold, but they say like, isn't it just make our deal?
No, well,
This
Pat,
just make our business even bigger.
Yeah.
YouTuber Pat the Nest
Those
Punk
things are getting fucking
came
crazy.
out because he has a gold one. Because the gold one's even rarer than the fucking.
That's the
other
one when you actually won the championship. These are like mall promos.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you had to.
No,
be,
no,
for the
the-
gold one, you had to be on
Yeah,
the tournament.
You had
No.
to be in the.
Yeah.
No, the gray ones are the ones that they gave on the tournament. The gold one was a fucking giveaway
Like a
from
mail
a
away
magazine.
thing.
And it was only, I think it was like not much. It was like 20 or some shit.
Alright, let me
And
find
they
out.
don't know how many are
Actually
still
survived or whatever.
So that one's rarest, but no, the gray one was the one you got for just being in the tournament. So they're the ones that they used in the tournament, and then as soon as like I guess somebody got out or whatever, they would give it to you.
One time I found a Mega Man 2. I used to work at a recycling plant and they would send me to the dump, right? So I go to the fucking dump and go dump off this shit because once things can't be recycled, they gotta be dumped off. That's
Yeah.
just the logical shit. Go to the recycling plant, dump off these things in this giant tanker truck, right? I have this fucking hydraulic lift that spits out all this fucking
Yeah.
round little plastics that can't be whatever. Anyways, move my thing, like getting my chains and putting my shit down, and I kick my foot, and like I hear something fall, and this little kid runs. I don't know where this fucking little kid came from, right? These little
It just
like
came out of nowhere.
dump kids
From
that
the
fucking
dirt.
exist.
Dump
Like, what the
kids.
fuck? So he grabs the thing, and it's a Mega Man 2 Nintendo game, and I'm like, yo,
Damn.
I'm like, yo,
It's almost
I
like-
don't want to fucking argue nothing. I'll give you $2 for that Mega Man 2 game. I don't even know if it works. I found it in the dump. Like, and then he looked at me and he looked at his dad, who I guess they fucking at some point like pulled next to me when I was doing the thing.
They're like trash pandas, right?
Yeah,
there,
which they know where to fucking exist. They got a little radar. So he gets his $2, and I remember I go home like, oh, I got this dump Mega Man 2 cartridge. That's
Yeah, but $2, whatever.
probably not gonna work. So whatever. Go home, try to wash it off, try to shake it out, try to do everything, like try to clean it properly, stick it in there. And you know how every Nintendo has its own, like, sometimes you gotta put it
Yeah,
left,
it's
sometimes
gotta-
you gotta put it up,
Then
and
you gotta blow on it.
push
Yeah,
down.
Like, move it
and
to
then-
the sides.
Every Nintendo has its own one, right? I already know mine for mine. It's been mine for years. I slide it in, turns on immediately, play the whole game through, like completely. I was like, like I can't believe that this
The
dumb-
trash cartridges
this
work.
fucking Mega Man 2 work. But yeah, that's how I got my Mega Man.
I
2.
still have like a bunch of them. Only the ones I like, the ones I really like are the ones that they're right behind
in
you.
the back.
But
I do love Turtles in Time. I remember being like obsessed with that game, just because I never learned how to fucking throw the people, and then I got older.
dude, look,
When I fucking passed that game. in, like,
when I
20 minutes or
started
whatever.
when I started collecting or whatever, I used to be able to drive, but I would drive around the fucking like to pawn shops, to Goodwills, whatever, and I would find shit. And at the pawn shops, dude, I remember I bought like these fucking like big ass fucking stack of Nintendo games because they were $2 each. and there was like DuckTales in there. There was fucking Mega Man 6. There was like a bunch of fucking games. And now, dude, if you go to pawn shops, dude, they know their fucking prices.
Oh yeah.
Now they're like fucking raised. as
Well, they got
shit.
smart. Like everyone now's trying to go like retro and buy old games because they become collector items now.
But I
So
think right
they
now
started
it's
looking
dropping.
for that, man.
I think right now it's dropping again. People are starting to lose a little bit of interest because they're so expensive.
Yeah. that's
So
why.
I think it's going down, and then it's going. The value of the games is going down too, because a lot of companies are remaking them for Switch, for
Well,
fucking
now
arcades.
the only chance you can fucking play isn't having to go find it. Like,
Yeah.
like Panzer Dragoon RPG. Like, that's a game that was made for the Sega Saturn, and the problem with that one is that they lost the source code, so they never could fucking.
But did you know that like
Remake
somebody
it.
said that they fucking like found it or something?
I know, but nobody wants to give it up. Like, it's not out.
I think somebody already built an emulator for the Saturn because they said it was so hard to do an emulator. But it's already, I don't know if it's out, but they already have the emulator and they can emulate all this fucking shit. I think they're gonna put it on one of those new consoles. That's
Probably gonna be on man-made.
No,
too.
you know what I heard is that one was incomplete. They don't have the extra storyline. It's the incomplete version, and
So
Yeah,
we
but
don't get the full.
that game is like
emulator.
fucking expensive too.
that game's like $400 now.
But I mean,
VHS is the same way though. So I collect VHS. I don't collect VHS. That's stupid.
That's stupid. Don't quote me on that shit.
I get movies I like and
Hey,
I watch them.
I still have my VHS for Godzilla. I have the first one. I have all of them until
Dude,
they
the thing
they stopped
is,
making them.
You can't even watch that shit like on your VHS tapes because you don't know if that shit's gonna fucking swallow it. If it's
yeah,
going
and if
to
it
like
swallows now, you
wrinkle
gotta
it.
take apart the VHS fucking.
No, that's
player
fucked
and-
up, dude. I'd rather just have the DVD if I want to watch it. Just
No, I
DVD.
keep them there. The boxes are a little bit.
I try to look for
torn.
the combo DVD like VHS because I know they're newer, right?
Yeah.
Like I know they're not all fucked up and they're easy to clean. Fucking can't find them anywhere. Dude.
No, they're fucking.
So VHS is drying up too. Nintendo games is drying up. VHS is drying up, and it's funny to say.
But they
'cause
all come back though. Like I said, like limited run games right now, they're the ones doing that whole re-releasing physical media. So like a lot of people are just finding
Well,
it
we
like
saw
super
yesterday on
easy.
Best Buy, like they have Super Meat Boy, and then on the corner it just says, what was it, limited run?
Yeah, well, cause they do like a limited run. That's why they're called that. But like it's easier to fucking get it now than it used to be.
I know they remade Street Fighter 2 cartridges last year, and I remember being like, I
Yeah,
wanna
they did.
buy
It
one.
was
the
they
Super
did
NES?
one like
Yeah.
whole gold. It was limited run games.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, that's cool. But
They did, and they're gonna do right now Aladdin and the Lion King did for Super Nintendo.
The Lion King
okay, well,
was-
those
I
are
like the Lion
bangers though.
King.
Those are bangers.
Yeah, they're gonna put
Yeah.
both of them. The Aladdin one is not the Super Nintendo.
That's when
one.
actually
Genesis.
movie tie-ins were good.
Well, those Disney ones were good.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know what other like they were all shit.
GoldenEye.
Well,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was in the 64 era though. And
But
that-
that's
Yeah, but
already
that's-
that's
yeah,
the
and
next
that's
year.
still-
it was like it wasn't really a movie tie-in. Like it was like very loosely.
No, but it was.
and
still
it was
fucking
more
good
about
game,
the
man.
multiplayer.
The whole entire movie was the first 10 whatevers, and then the
Like
other
10
ones were
floors?
different ones.
Yeah, but that's what I said though. It's like that. It was more about the multiplayer. I think the multiplayer was what everybody fucking loves about
No,
GoldenEye.
dude, everybody loved the first person too because you had the missions. The only way you could
Play it now,
unlock,
dude.
you could unlock.
Like every gun, it has to be
Yeah,
through
you have to
your
pass the.
gameplay.
Fuck,
was
you
like-
couldn't put a code.
Play it now, dude. It's shit. And
They're
it looks like
still doing
shit.
tournaments on that,
It
man.
looks like shit.
That
Speed
thing's
runs,
never
dog.
good. Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do 5 second speed
Fucking
runs.
speedrunners now. But they're doing all the.
I
cheat
like
codes,
those
man.
though, cause they do all those glitches and like bullshit.
Yeah, they
but-
take advantage of
they
the
have to
glitches,
do
and
all these
I don't
things.
think that's fair. For example, the guys
No,
that do the
there's-
speed run for like the Souls game.
I
But
said it
there's
before.
There's different tiers. Like there's one with glitches or one without glitches.
like, I'm trying to do Zombies Ate My Neighbor's perfect run, and I'm trying to get it under
That
2
shit is
hours,
fucking
and it's
hard.
just like
It's kind of
I
close
do.
to impossible.
I'm getting up into the 30s without fucking glitching out because that's the problem with that game is that you can't have
I'll
more
be
than
back.
7 or 8 sprites on the screen,
Yeah.
and it'll fucking reset. And there's a lot of instant kills in the later games, so you're gonna die. Like the dude's gonna die anyways. And if you have like 20 zombies following you, you end up fucking not glitching out because that's
Yeah.
what it is, a glitch out. So anyways, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get under 2 hours. It's real difficult because you have to become very objective.
No, and then you still gotta learn every fucking move in those games.
I already
Like, I don't know how they managed to do the Mega Man speedruns. Like, those motherfuckers, you had to. There was a specific spot to jump. Like,
At a
that's what
certain
I like.
time.
Yeah, that's what I like about the old games. Like, you gotta learn where to jump, like where to stop, how to run, all of that. Like Mario, like the new Mario Maker, they're doing that. Like, they're bringing back the whole thing that you gotta speed up, certain speed, and then jump on a certain spot. But like now that you're mentioning, like trying to do the perfect run, right? The only game I done a perfect run was Final Fantasy 12.
I agree.
That took me 140 gameplay hours. But I have everything, all the swords, everything, all the materials. Like, if I put it back on my PlayStation 2, it's 100%. I remember spending like 2 days just to getting all the materials to just make one fucking sword. And I remember the name of the sword, that's the Tournesol, something like that. It looks like a fucking sun, and one of the rays is just a long ass piece. That's your sword.
Well, I always love that part of the end game content has always been my favorite.
Yeah.
And the one that I can tell you I really did obsess over and has been my favorite of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics. And I know I have a fucking PS1 file that says 400 hours. And it's just like, it's because I learned how to make them. In that game, you have to do one move, right? You have to do one action, and you get 5 points, like 10 experience points, 30 experience points, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to do it, and once the last enemy on the stage dies, that's it. Like, you gotta start over, and sometimes it's like starting over and resetting and starting over and resetting and learning how to get your characters to do something automatically, and so they can level up. It takes forever because the game isn't like that.
Yeah, especially on tactics.
And then, and the worst part of Tactics, this is the worst endgame part, is you have to breed animals. I'm sorry, I hit the thing. You have to breed animals, right?
Yeah.
So you get them and they come to your party. Until you finally get into those later stages when they're dropping the rare guy. And then that has to be a rare poach. Like, you have to poach your own dude and drop them. Like, I had to do that with the Tiamats, which is like the last Hydra that you can get.
Thing.
It was like, I think I had like 1,000 casualties because it says you killed your people, right?
So it has your kill meter.
Yeah, and
your
it's
death
just
meter,
1,000 of those dudes and the Ouroboros, and I was just like, fuck, I can't believe like it took me that long to get 7. Like, because I think only 7 characters in the game could wear the rubber suit or whatever. Like, I think it was 10. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna get one for, because I was obsessed. I was just like, I gotta get everyone.
Yeah, I get to
Which
that
game is
point
this?
too. Yeah, I get to
I'm
that
back.
point too. Like, I just want to like get all that I can do in the game. Like, I just purchased the. I don't know if you saw that at the game chat we did when I bought the Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Zelda Link's Awakening.
No.
That's my favorite, dude.
No.
I mean,
That's
no,
my mother.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Sorry.
Okay, that's a great one too.
That one's still on. It'll come in what, November, I think it is.
No, it came out like 2 years ago.
No, I mean the one that I said first, Link's Awakening.
Link's
That's
Awakening
coming out.
comes out on the 20th.
Oh yeah.
I thought they just remade one, no?
Yeah, that's coming out.
Coming out on the
this
20th.
20th.
Okay, oh shit.
And I'm playing that Zelda, and I just found out like you need to get a certain amount of what was it? Like spheres from the shrines, so you can like get an extra heart, more for the stamina and all that. So I'm just getting obsessed now. They're like, I gotta get all this shit now. I haven't even looked online like how many of those shrines are.
No,
I just keep looking on the map and
There's like over 200 or something.
I'll fucking get them.
No.
All it is walking up.
Yeah,
That's what
just
you're
walk
saying,
in.
and then the next game is coming up, and it's
You're like, I want to go there anyway, so I'm gonna fucking pass by. Here it goes.
cause there's like a lot of fucking shit on that game. And then more shit came out, and then at the end of the fucking game they give you a motorcycle, and it's like, why the fuck?
Well, now
like
that I know, I want the
motorcycle.
motorcycle
They have a
now.
motorcycle in
The
Link's
motorcycle's
Awakening?
fucking cool, but like, what do I want it anymore? Like, you fucking finished the game. It's
Yeah.
like, come on,
Oh, that's
man,
what
the
you-
fuck?
I think
Give
it has a game
me
plus.
that shit at the beginning.
It has a game plus, doesn't it?
No, it's just like a DLC.
Well, you can use the bike on the DLC.
And this one you have to do the 4-player one too. They included all of these different like what Game Boy Advance games into this one game. So I know there's a color dungeon. I know there's one where you got to do the 4 swords where they break them.
No,
up.
Oh yeah, there's
It's
like
'cause
side
there's
quests, you mean, right?
There's a dungeon maker, so you can make
Well,
your own dungeon. and
that's
shit.
what I was reading, that this new Link has multiple like references to the other links on the Game Boys.
Yeah, but I think that it has to do with the maker side of it, like in
Okay.
Super Mario Maker, because the actual game is just Link's Awakening, just remade like in the 3D. It's exactly
Just
the same
nice.
game.
I love that
Graphics.
game. I remember it teaching me like, oh, you have to do different combinations of shit. And me as a little kid, because I was like 5 or 6 or whatever, whenever that fucking thing came out in 92, 94?
Yeah, around that time.
So I was like 10 then. So I remember
This
it
is
coming out and being like,
1993.
oh, I gotta fucking plan things. Like, I can't just be jumping around like
It
an
actually
idiot.
That's
teaches
the
you
first
fucking
to
game.
it teaches you how to organize your
That's the
really?
first game I fucking ever finished on my Game Boy.
Damn.
Because I used to like go on a lot of trips with my mom, and I just fucking played. There was an RPG too for the James Bond. It was just called 007, and it was for the Game Boy. I finished that shit too, and that shit was fucking cool, dude. Cause it was like stealth and shit. It was like an RPG. You're James Bond,
Yeah, yeah.
but there was all these missions where you had to like kill people without them seeing you. So you would have to be like behind walls and shit.
Was it all
and-
green screen or what?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
the
it
Game
was
Boy.
the
dude.
original
It
Game
was
Boy.
the Game Boy, dude.
Those shit used to.
Code 007. Now I play it
Link's
and I'm like, what?
Awakening?
This is
I
fucking.
still-
Link's Awakening is amazing though.
I think I still
Still.
have my mine still function the original Game Boy. I found the box. I have a bunch of games here. I don't know if it still works. I'm gonna have to try that. And
You gotta break them up.
I have
Yeah.
a bunch of shit, but I already sold. I sold most of my shit.
for the Game Boy, I haven't sold anything.
I
just-
think the lucky thing with me is I actually traded Super Game Boy, right? You remember Super
Yeah.
Game Boys?
Yeah.
And
It's
I
just a
remember
Game Boy in a cartridge.
Yeah.
you play the Game Boy in the Super Nintendo and you don't waste $10,000 on fucking batteries and you're not stuck to the fucking wall.
That's what I hate
in
about
the
the
little adapter. You're like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Well, I have the one for the GameCube, the
Okay.
Game Boy Player, and it's almost like the same thing, but it's on the GameCube.
Mm,
And you just need a starter disc for it,
yeah.
which I have. But you can put Game Boy games there. You can put like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that's cool because
So that
I
shit's
remember
fucking
my
cool.
parents spending a lot of money on batteries.
But I have all my Game Boy games, but I sold all of my Game Boys. Especially like, I have some original ones that I have left over. I have like 3 of them.
There are
But-
3 Game Boys.
Yeah, but like those shits are like fucking $10, dude, $20. They're
The original
probably
brick
the
Game
Game
Boy.
Boy
yeah,
Color.
they're
That's-
fucking trash.
That is all fucked up. Somebody used them. They
No.
got used.
The fucking unless it's fucking sealed in the box, it's fucking worthless.
yeah,
yeah.
I guess you're right.
Like when you go to like a retro store, or whatever, and you're like, I want a Game Boy, like the original. Literally, dude, it's like, oh, it's $15. Like, I don't know what. I think it's probably because they're not in demand. Because
I had the big hunk one, right? I had the big chunky
the
one,
big
but it was
brick.
see-through. That was the
yeah,
first Game Boy
that's the one I
yeah.
had. Uh-huh.
The one that I have is a gray one, just
And then
the classic color.
you're lucky.
I had the
Because
black
those
one,
you
too.
fucked them up and it was whatever.
And here's the thing, mine didn't go turn yellow. I always had
Yeah,
I always had like a carrying case for it
Yeah.
No,
with all
but-
my games on it.
That's fucking
That's
The
why I
dope.
turning,
kept it.
the turning yellow doesn't have to do anything with how do you take care of it. The turning yellow was because fucking.
Wasn't it your hands? Like the
No,
soil
dude.
in your hands?
It was because there was this fucking Nintendo had like different factories.
Okay.
And there was like these like factories that used a different kind of plastic that with age would turn yellow.
Okay.
So
All right, that makes sense.
so
'cause
that's what happens with a lot of Super Nintendos.
Okay.
Not Nintendo, because those fucking they
Super
weren't yet.
Nintendos do turn into
Super Nintendos and with Game Boys. That shit was happening with that, and there's like a way where you can clean it, like where you can like restore it, I guess. But it was because of that stupid ass plastic. But
well, you gotta.
The
think
thing
about
about
it.
the
They
Game
gotta
Boy-
cut some. They gotta cut some expenses. That's why. We
the
got
thing about the
shitty
Game Boy,
plastics.
I think that it's so worthless. Not, I don't mean worthless as in like it sucks, but like that
Now,
because
here's the reason
every
why.
single fucking Game Boy afterwards.
This
dude,
yellowing happens thanks to a flame retardant called bromine. So it's for that. It
because
says that
they
thing.
did it on
They're
that
trying
shit.
to help you.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
those
because it
old
was-
ABS plastics. Yeah, it has to do with a plastic
Because they
as
know
well.
your Super Nintendo's gonna become
And
on
it
fire
was the sun.
after
Good.
33
As you know,
hours
the-
of play.
Yeah, the UV lights actually turned that into yellow.
I've been fucking researching this shit because of stupid fucking collecting. But anyway, I think that that Game Boy is not worth as much as the other ones because all the Game Boys after that to the Game Boy Advance are all backwards compatible. So since you can play the original Game Boy games in a Game Boy Advance, well, more people prefer to have a Game Boy Advance with a fucking backlight than the original
yeah.
shit.
There's so many good games on Game Boy Advance because I remember playing Golden Sun.
Dude, Game Boy, I think just the Game Boy brand, like from the fucking
Has been the most consistent.
from that to all the way to the Advance, has been fucking amazing with games, dude. Like there's a lot of shitty games, but there's a lot of fucking amazing games. Advance Wars, dude. Fucking
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
Wario's Woods.
When
dude.
it comes to the handheld devices, Nintendo's gonna be the king.
Yeah.
No one has done
I
as
think
good as them.
PSP. was
PSP did well,
really
but
good.
it hasn't been as
I used to
consistent.
do security on the road, right? So I would go to different cities every other week. And one of my things, like you were saying earlier, was going to pawn shops, going to thrift stores, and seeing what it was. You never knew what you were gonna find. And you were in another city. Go to a pawn shop in Vegas. You know what type of weird shit you fucking
I
find there?
can imagine.
So-
That's what I used to like about hunting, dude. Like about hunting video games. That like you go to these places and you don't know what you're gonna find.
So I would be on the road, right? And I would I had a PSP. I had a Darth Vader PSP whenever whatever fucking Battlefront came out for that.
Yeah.
I had a Darth Vader PSP, played Final Fantasy Tactics, got all these things. The only reason I had so many games is because I would go to the pawn shops and buy them for $2, $3. Some of my favorite movies. I mean, I'm talking like Old Boy. Have you seen the movie Old
Yeah.
Boy? That's my number 2 movie of all time. I found it on a PSP for like
Inside
$2.
the PSP.
No, I found, for
the,
sale.
The,
Oh,
it was
alright.
just
the
for sale, too.
UMD video.
Yeah. I was like,
All right.
I was like, you know what, $2, I'm gonna try this movie. I don't even know what the fuck this movie is. This is before you could look on your phone and be like, what's Old
Yeah,
Boy?
before Netflix.
And
And
it
all
was
that.
just like, okay, whatever. Saw that movie and I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck did I fucking buy? Like I showed everybody, like my entire crew. I had like 50 people in my crew. Like people would come hang out in my room because I didn't blaze it. I didn't do drugs. I had to be completely sober. I was in
for
charge of all this
security.
shit. I had all this shit. So everybody would come and hang out in my room and watch movies. I remember being like, fuck, like that movie was intense. PSP $2. PSP had so much amazing things. Like I'm really sad that the PSP didn't make it.
Well, dude, I fucking when the PSP was on its way out, I started collecting for that shit.
Yeah.
So I would go to GameStop because games were like $2 to $1 or whatever, and I was just grabbing everything I could, dude. So I have like a shitload that I really love, like Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, but that one's one of the best fucking versions of that shit. And there's like Castlevania, dude. That one's fucking amazing. And I bought a bunch of UMD like movies and shit. But I got the rarest one, which like everybody was like, why is this shit the rarest? Like it's stupid. Dude, you know what it is? It's fucking video. It's virtual lap dances. And it's called Bounce.
Nice.
But it's
That's a
fucking,
good name
it's
for a
really
strip
rare.
club.
It's really fucking rare. Like they don't get naked. They're like in fucking thongs or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the rarest, dude. And I bought that shit for like $5, dude. And it's like worth a lot of money now. But it's like, I was like, yeah, this is like this pervy shit. Like,
It's like secret.
and
The
I
secret
still,
bin.
I still have it, dude. And cause I remember my wife was like, what the fuck is that? But I was like, well,
Like,
it's
don't
one of
touch
the,
it.
One of the rare. And I saw
Leave
and I
it
was
right
like,
there.
dude, like fucking internet porn is better than this shit. Like, who the fuck even wants this shit, you know? But I was like, well, whatever.
For
but
rare collectors.
and then one of the rarest PSPs, which is the one I had, is a purple Hannah Montana, dude. And that's the one I have, dude. It doesn't say Hannah Montana or anything. It's
But
just,
it's the edition.
no, but it's just purple. Like it just looks like a purple, which I like because I wouldn't like that it says Hannah Montana or whatever. But it's
Why
just
not?
it's just all purple.
With
dude.
That
Hannah
wouldn't make it
Montana.
even rarer. No
Huh?
one's gonna buy
because
it.
like there's not a lot. No, dude, but it's just it just looks like a purple like buttons and everything.
But it has a little engraving that's
No, it doesn't have anything.
How do you
it's
know
just
it's a
purple.
Hannah Montana? Just by the code or what?
Because of there's not another PSP that's purple like that unless like you would customize it, but it has the fucking buttons, the clear like purple buttons like PlayStation, dude.
Alright.
And I found it at a pawn shop, dude, and I was like, that's exactly why I bought it because I was like, what the fuck? I'd never seen this purple PSP, and then it was like I think it was like 25 or some shit, and I bought that shit, and then when I went to research which one it is, like, oh, it's a Hannah Montana one, and like there wasn't a lot because it came out with like the fucking game or some bullshit. Because at the time I remember PSP was doing a lot like the Darth Vader. They were doing like a lot of theme ones.
Yeah.
But I was like, I like my favorite color is color purple, dude. Actually, and I was like, I want that shit, and that's the one I have because I sold the actual one. Because there's so many already too that like all the slim, the fucking 1000, the 1001, like it's all this
I just
shit.
feel sad for the PSP because it outgrew itself. Like, you know,
Dude, and PS Vita, dude, if you had a
Vita
chance,
was great
that
too.
was fucking awesome. I still have that one. and you could download most PSP games on it on the
The Vita.
PlayStation Network, dude. I have like a shitload of PSP games.
I
That
love Patapon. Did you ever play Patapon?
Yeah, the one that's like rhythm. You just have to with the
like-
fucking.
And they fight monsters, but they look kind of like weird straw engravings, like Mexican
But-
Aztec engravings. But
PSP was one of the best handhelds. Game Boy, DS still. I think that even the 3DS had some great.
Yeah, it's
fucking
still holding
shit.
it.
But like now, I guess Switch is it's both things. It's handheld and it's which is fucking
that was
crazy.
the next evolution of games is obviously gonna be walking around in it.
But that's fucking
Like, we all
crazy to
agree to
me,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
that like you can, get Breath of the Wild, which is like a fucking, an actual complete game, and like take it now as a handheld. Like that's fucking crazy to me. When I was a kid, if somebody would told me that shit, like, hey, you can take, like whatever PlayStation game you're playing, Resident Evil on the go, that's fucking blow my
That'll
mind,
blow
dude.
your mind.
Like it's crazy how fucking far along we've gone with all this shit.
I know a bunch of old people that say, I can't believe that people just have phones like that. That for
It's
you
a
to
fucking
see,
computer.
For you to see a phone was because you were like in the military and you had a fucking thing on your backpack.
Yeah, you had the
and somebody
the
cranked
guy
it.
just cranked
yeah,
it
and
and
it was
then
just like
gigantic antenna.
My
it
mom-
was just rare.
Yeah.
My mom in the I guess it was like the early 90s. She had a phone, a cell phone. It was
The
one
big
of those
blocks.
fucking huge shit.
Yeah.
And you would press the buttons to like, like it was like super loud and shit. And then like hello, and the fucking reception with the big ass antenna like this shit.
This is
Did you have the
seriously
one
important.
with just the antenna one size, or the one that you pull out?
No, you pull it
Oh
out.
yeah.
It's fucking crazy, dude. I was like, damn, I remember my mom having one of those fucking phones.
That's a
and
real flex though.
My friend,
Yeah,
That's the original 80s flex.
my first phone, I had a fucking. It was a Nokia, the one with the fucking snake.
There you go.
Oh, the snake game.
But I fucking bought. I remember in Chula Vista, they used to be these shops where you could buy the different shells, and I bought like this like
Oh,
red.
you mean the little
A
Nokia
little
square, right?
antenna that would make little
No,
lights.
but it was like it was a whole shell. Like you would take apart the phone and put it on like a different shell.
Yeah, that's the one that was really famous, the little square one.
And mine
I
was-
had the one like the Matrix. But mine was the cheap one. You just pull it down.
Yeah. had
I
that
still
one, too.
have it.
Do
It's
you
a
really?
chrome one.
Ah.
I just need to find like a charger, see which kind of fucking phone
Dude.
numbers I have in there.
When I was like really, really poor, I remember, I had a job. I wasn't like really, really poor, but it was like, I just say that because it was like when I first tried to move out of my mom's house and live by myself, when you don't realize how much shit is and like you just
How
spending on
expensive
stupid
life
shit.
is.
And then you're like paying for your phone and shit, and you're like, fuck, I thought I could afford $100. Now I realize that it's too much. But I had a fucking Verizon phone that, but it was like the latest, I guess. But you would open it like that, dude, and it had a TV. And then you would pull out a fucking
Damn.
antenna on it. And I would watch like South Park, because they had like these like South Park episodes and shit for like Verizon customers. You could watch it on your shit. And it had the keyboard, the physical keyboard, like when you open it like that, dude.
But it
phone
wasn't a
is that?
sidekick though. That was like
No,
a zone.
Sidekick was before that,
It
dude.
was like a zone.
Because I had a fucking sidekick too, but mine wasn't the one that like flipped. It was the one that you just go up.
I had a weird sidekick that I got for free. I got a Kat Von D sidekick. They gave me one at Coachella. Like, you get random shit at Coachella. So, like, I mean, the shoes I'm wearing, I got at Coachella for free. Like, just for no fucking reason whatsoever. Like,
Just
stand
here?
over here. And then there's just, like, I caught a Kat Von D, like, sidekick thing or whatever. And I remember using it, and it immediately fucking broke just because I used to did security, right? But my fucking phone broke. I was like, man, I lost all these fucking numbers after fucking like changing the phone, and the other phone was all fucked up.
That one?
Dude, I'm telling you,
There you go.
You're like fucking Hulk, dude.
Verizon LG, man. Those are the rich. I think I do remember the little thing now.
I still have it,
think-
dude.
You still have it?
And then I still have the one that was my favorite. It was a Xperia Play, which was a PSP, but it was on a phone. So when you like flipped
Oh,
it
I
up,
remember that one.
it had the PlayStation, the fucking controllers on it, and then you could buy PlayStation. You were on the PlayStation Network with your phone.
Is that the one that had a weird Resident Evil?
I
that
think
he was on the
That would've
no,
been
no,
the-
that's
it was-
Engage. I think everybody just fucking confuses Engage with.
That's the Engage, the one you had like to take the fucking.
yeah,
like,
but
a
that's the one that had the
screwdriver and-
Resident Evil that was shit.
Oh yeah.
No, the Xperia it was PSP game,
Okay.
basically. Like it was just the PSP, but it was like the PSP Go. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I do
It didn't
remember
have
that.
for the CDs. It was all download. So it was the same, but it was on a phone. So you would download the things on your phone. It was a phone like regular phone, and then you would open it, and it was a PlayStation.
You know, I remember. Okay, I had a friend, right? My friend Arthur Otterberry, shout out, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He used to work for the people who would replace the magazines, right? Because obviously magazines were dying. 1999, everybody's going to get their shit on the chat room, right? This is the beginning of the death of print. So he would always come home with all these fucking magazines, and it's like Nintendo Powers, PlayStation Network, all that shit, right? So I remember, God, if I was in high school and I was in a freshman, I was like 14. So this has got to be 22 years ago. Whenever the fuck that was, it's minus it. 97. We're 97. We're talking about 97. I remember it was in a Game Informer or something that they were talking about how Nintendo, along with the Dolphin, because I remember that it used to be the Dolphin. Shout out to the airport. What the fuck? That's a weird one.
Well, the
I think
airport
that-
is like
Not-
really near
Not
here.
that far away, but
I used to work right next to it. That's weird. That one was really close. Anyways, so right next to the Dolphin, because they were fucking promoting the Dolphin. This is gonna be the Dolphin. Was a Nintendo phone that actually played and was a cell phone. And I remember it had Pokemon on it. It was the beginning of like Pokemon starting to take off. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be this revolutionary phone, 97. Like, it's gonna roll out next year. You're gonna see. You're gonna be able to play Game Boy games on the phone.
and it never came out.
And it never, like, nobody ever heard anything about it. Like, obviously,
Yeah, but the Dolphin never came out either. It came out
Nah,
for
it
a
was
couple of
just-
weeks in Japan or some shit.
Well, Japan gets all the weird stuff.
Which is a 64. It was called the 64DD disc drive.
yeah.
So it's like this fucking all this shit that they were trying, because the Engage was like a huge fucking failure, dude. In order to change the cartridge on that shit, you had to open your phone, take the battery out, and put the game, dude.
that
Which
the
is
one?
fucking retarded, dude. It's fucking stupid.
Well, I think this is the one the creep was saying.
I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything has changed so much now. Like, people say like, oh, these things are so expensive. I was like, dude, you have a fucking. Sometimes this shit it has more capacity and is better than your fucking computer, dude.
Remember when you
Yeah.
needed to have a calculator, bro?
The
You
fucking.
God,
needed to
yeah,
have an
dude.
actual fucking calculator to do real mathematic calculations.
Well, they
Yeah.
still ask you for the
one that has,
scientific
like,
one.
the
huh?
graphics and all that, like the
Yeah,
what was
scientific
it, Western
calculator.
Tech or what was
There's
the
apps
name?
for it now.
Scientific
Yeah, the
calculator.
scientific
there.
calculator.
I know there's a fucking app for it now.
The for Texas
Yeah.
You
Instruments.
don't need
Yeah,
it
tech.
anymore.
And they were like expensive. They were like $40, $50. You're like,
There were
damn.
even more. They were like, I remember my friends having like, mine has games and shit. And whoa,
Well,
shit.
yeah, we just bought the ones we needed.
We were just like trying to like do graphs and shit just to see the how it rendered. Remember?
Yeah. And some incalculable thing is just like,
But dude, but it was yeah. You would just use it for like fucking just being your lazy ass, just like fucking multiplication and shit. Whatever. Yeah, dude. Now it's fucking crazy now. Look, another fucking plane.
What the fuck is that game?
Another.
the money
fucking-
puzzle exchanger.
I didn't even notice what the fuck that was.
So, oh, dude, but before, I mean, moving on from video games, really fast, guys.
From this 90-minute tangent.
90 minutes.
I just wanted to like tell a really quick story about racism in El Paso.
It's story time, it's racist time, it's story time with the creep.
Oh shit.
It's not really racist. I just thought it was funny because everywhere me and him go, we speak English to everybody, and then when we're talking to each other, we
We
speak in Spanish. So like they'll hear us and they'll speak in Spanish to us, you know, thinking probably because we're from Juarez or whatever. Like, not necessarily, but
Everyone
just
from El
assuming
Paso, from
completely
Juarez.
that we're Mexican, which we are. But fun fact, he
We
was
just
born.
assume that now.
He was born in-
I was
He
born
was
here
born
in
here
El Paso and lived all my
And lives
life
in
with them.
Juarez, and I was born in Juarez and live here.
Dude, I didn't realize how much of an accent I had until I.
Until you go into
Left
the
outta
fucking
here.
interior, dude, yeah.
And then they're like, what tribe are you from?
Yeah,
homie?"
dude.
What
And
tribe
like,
are
the
you
fuck
from?
Yeah, they
talking
do that shit. But and you don't even realize that you have an accent. But that happens even with like Mexicans, like when you go from Juarez to in the interior of Mexico, they'll be like,
Mexico
like, "Where are
is
you
totally
from?
different.
why are
You
you
can't
so
understand
fucking
what
mad?
they
They'll
say.
be like, why are you so fucking mad at me? And
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm
everyone
not
from the
fucking
north,
mad.
everyone from the south of Mexico
It's
can
a
tell
whole-
who's from the north
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're louder. Not the accents because we're louder, and they say we're just aggressive. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
You're
but
just
they say,
pansies.
like,
That's what
"Hey."
you are.
But anyways, so I was looking for the Simpsons, the other ones at Think Geek, right? And I guess this guy, he was
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to us in English at the beginning and everything, but we kept talking. We talk really loud too, so we just kept and we kept like laughing at everything. We were fucking retards. But we were looking at the pops, and then he just goes in Spanish. He's like, "Hey, what are you looking for? Like, so I can help you out or whatever." And I was like, "No, I'm just looking around, you know, like I'm just fucking." I knew that I wanted the Simpsons, but I knew that they were out,
Yeah.
like for sure. So I was like,
You're gonna laugh at this.
I don't
though,
even
man.
want to fucking. I don't even want to fucking like ask. I know they're out, whatever. I don't give a shit. And I was just looking, and then the guy is like, "Well, the new Dragon Balls are coming out." And I was like, "Okay." And it's like, "Yeah, look here
And
they
he
are."
insisted on the
And he's
Dragon
like,
Ball.
"Look," and then we have all these other Dragon
He
Balls.
brought the pamphlet for the upcoming one.
But I was like, "Dude,
I
like,
want the Dragon Ball one.
why are you assuming because I'm Mexican that like we just come and Dragon Ball, everything, dude?" Like to me, I was like, that's a little racist. Although I get it because most fucking people from Juarez, the kids
love
are
Dragon Ball,
they
man.
love Dragon Ball.
That's what we started on.
Yeah.
I fucking love it, but
No,
dude,
We
I
didn't.
thought-
We didn't even start on
No.
Dragon Ball Z. We started
The-
on Dragon Ball. Dragon
But
Ball.
yeah,
coming-
Dragon Ball '86.
I wanted the fucking pop, the
But
one that
here's the
was,
thing.
the one on
The-
the on the cloud.
The one for our generation from Juarez, we all started from Saint Seiya, the Caballeros del
Oh, yeah.
Zodiaco.
That's every Saturday
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah,
Now
they
they,
did it
they,
like
they
6 in the
play,
morning,
they
dude.
play the reruns on Sundays at 7 a.m. And I
If you
wake
didn't
up
watch the
just to
3
see them.
hours,
And no, they play
you-
like
you were
5
lost,
hours
homie.
straight.
We had a fucking little TV like this, dude, on
Él
top of a
no puede
typewriter.
pegar porque no la miró, güey.
Yeah.
Fíjate. He can't play because he didn't watch it. He's the bad guy.
But I just didn't like that. This guy was assuming that we wanted Dragon Ball because we speak Spanish.
Well, you know that's
It's a little bit. fucked up.
no, like that's pretty funny racist. I mean, like
It's the funny side of
what
racism.
kind of reverse racism is that? It's like, oh, es mexicano, so le gusta el pinche Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Which I am Mexican, but why would you assume that
Do you
I
don't like
want
Dragon Ball?
Dude,
Now, if you
but
when it comes
to
Saint Seiya,
when
I
it-
wouldn't even notice
no.
the racist
when
part
it
of
comes
it.
to pops, dude, too much
Yeah.
much Dragon Ball.
All I collect is Trunks and maybe an occasional.
Way too much. You know
something
what
else.
I have Dragon Ball, dude? What I have is Vegeta because it was my wife's like favorite fucking. She had the fucking hots for Vegeta or
Every
whatever.
woman likes fucking Vegeta.
It was Vegeta, the original one with the fucking with the.
Well, it's over 9,000.
Yeah, and then I have Super Saiyan, the original Super Saiyan Goku. That's it. Because I wanted Shenron, but the one that I told, the Jade one, that's the one I wanted. Because I wanted to take it out of the box to put it like as a fucking centerpiece
Yeah.
and shit. That's the only. But dude, there's like dead Jamsha. There's fucking regular Jamsha.
I got dead
And
Yamcha.
everyone
I don't
dies.
fuck with
And
it.
everyone dies.
I wish they would have a little exploded Chaozu.
So there's gonna be like 50 different deaths for every character.
I think there's like 200 Dragon Ball ones.
So far?
I think so.
They're
It's
coming up with
it's,
new
it's
ones.
got to be over 150. I'll tell you that much.
Damn.
But there's way too many, and every single year more come out and more come out. And there's Frieza, and there's a Frieza Phase 1,
And
there's
now
a
it's Golden
Frieza.
Frieza.
I think right now my thing with the Dragon Ball was I always focus on certain eras. So my era is Trunks. I've always loved Trunks. So the Mecha Frieza is gonna come out. That one looks cool.
It's a. Oh yeah, that's on the pre-orders now.
Mecha Frieza is gonna come out, and then another Trunks, which however I have to give because I'm a
Future
fucking
Trunks?
fanboy. But they came out with the Future Trunks box like recently,
Yeah.
and the thing is, okay, 1 in 6 is a chase, right? So you get a special paint job or it's glow in the dark, whatever. I only collect glow in the dark shit. I've already said this before. The Future Trunks one came out, and it was just a metallic coat, and it looked like shit. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sweat about that shit. Like
That's what I don't like
it's a
about
shitty
some of those
metallic
those golden ones that it's just like, basically they'll put a fucking sticker of whatever exclusive or whatever,
if you look at this Homer,
and they just golden.
the detail on the marge,
It's
the
it's
face,
really good.
you have a really good paint job one. The one I got is a really shitty
Yeah,
paint
but my
job.
box is shitty.
I'll trade you your box
No.
for a fucking.
You damaged yours because when I grabbed them on the Team
No, I
Geek,
don't
they
care.
were pristine.
Because
Mine's
they're for-
still clean.
they're for
It's right
me.
next to my spawns.
When they're for me, dude, I really don't give a shit because at the end of the day, they're for me. Like, I don't fucking... I could give two shits. I fucking hate when I get one to sell or something, and
It's
then
all
they're
fucked
like
up.
all like, dude, what the fuck's up with this corner? And I'm like, you know what, dude? Get the fuck out of my house. Don't fucking call me
I'm
again.
like that with the McFarlane toys. I collect spawns.
no, but
And I have
that's too much,
half
man.
a closet of those in boxes.
Like-
Like when they try to sell it for the what's worth at this time, and it's damaged. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna
Hey,
buy.
do you-
I'm not gonna buy.
If you
damaged
come
box.
across a pirate or an alien spawn from the ones where the shit landed on the side, I'm looking for those because I have the Hamlet one,
yeah,
and then it's
I may have one.
Raven. It's the Raven spawn, the she spawn too. I have that one, and Angels of Redemption, the
Yeah.
wings.
I have the Raven spawn like twice. I forgot I had it once and I bought it again.
Well, I remember that pirate one and that fucking alien one. There had to be like 30 in every fucking KB Toys.
Yeah.
Because I worked in Sunland, so I remember there was still a KB fucking Toys.
Yeah.
And,
That's why I miss fucking Toys R Us and KB Toys.
You found everything
Yeah.
there, man.
And it's like you never knew we were gonna walk in because like, okay, we're gonna clear all the old shit out. $2, $3.
Toys
Yeah,
R Us.
He-Man,
Because they were originally like $12, and then when they did the clearance, it's just $2.
it was $2.
and they were really good. Fucking.
But I remember
the
when there
details and
wasn't like
everything.
there wasn't an adult section. They were just like in sections.
they were
or
just-
whatever.
Everything was mixed in.
And every
But
aisle.
now, at the end of the Toys R Us, it was like it had an adult section where they had all, and everything was so expensive.
Well, it
dude.
was McFarlane that really made everything like, oh, you're gonna make an action figure? It better be fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, okay, my shit's gonna have a thing and a face and
Well,
another
just look
thing.
the beginnings of him when he started working for Marvel. He redesigned Spider-Man. He created Venom.
Yeah. 300. Well, 299 is the first comic book I picked up at a Surefind. When my grandma picked me up from school and was like, "Here, lee los pinches libros."
Yeah.
Like,
I kept buying them since I was a kid. I think it was in elementary when I started buying the spawns. And I have all them in Spanish from number 0 up to the last one, which was 120. Yeah, it was 120 for the first series. Because then he came back and started remaking them from 121 and up. I think he's on 300 right now.
I think it's like about to be.
And then when it comes in English, I have them from 0 to 92. Like I haven't found the rest of them,
Yeah.
but I have them in Spanish, the whole
Which are
collection.
fucking
But they're
word-
worth for shit.
Yeah, they're wordless. Everything.
They're wordless because it's in Spanish.
Because I used to have all the Super Campeones in the comics.
No, that's weird because
They're
I
fucking wordless.
Captain Tsubasa.
I used to collect a lot of comic books, and then my roof caved in,
That's what happened with me.
leaked all of my shit.
That's what
fucked my
happened
shit
with
up.
the pipes froze, and then when it fucking and I had like this fucking tower of the Super Campeones comic.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah, I remember throwing that shit away.
They got fucking
When that
ruined.
happens, I came in to help out and throw stuff away. I remember seeing the boxes.
But it was just like
Everything was
that.
just
I
in
had like a
cool
bunch
ball.
of Nintendo Park Club Nintendo shit like that, dude. I still have some shit that I kept that it wasn't damaged, like all the Planet Terror stuff, because I remember I bought the magazines for Rue Morgue, Fangoria, anything that came out that was Planet Terror, I fucking saved, and I have all of them, dude. So I was like, that was one of my favorite movies ever, dude. So, but that's fucking crazy, dude.
That's
like
the
all
only
the,
downside.
I saw the
about
weird
collecting.
sneak preview of Planet Terror in Austin, and Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino were there, and they were showing some weird movies. And that's the first time I saw Zombie, the original Lucio Fulci Zombie. And I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? And then like these fools came out and talked like these are the inspirations for a movie.
the
I
Grindhouse.
can't find what the second movie was. Like, okay, so the
From who?
second movie was a teacher, a university teacher
Uh-huh.
that was in like a 3-way with like some co-eds, right? So they filmed it and they sent them like a letter and they're like, we have pictures of you having sex with underage co-eds. If you don't give us all,
Who was it?
Is it the Keanu
I
Reeves
can't
one?
fucking know.
What was the name of the?
I don't know.
Zombie, right? That you
Oh,
said the
Lucio
movie?
Fulci
No,
Zombie.
that's the first
So
movie.
that's not the same one.
No, this is the second movie that
It's the one with
Quentin
Keanu Reeves,
Tarantino-
isn't it?
Quentin Tarantino said that he inspired this movie. Inspired part of the Death Proof was
All right.
this co-ed movie, right? So In this movie, these co-eds go to like a fucking.
But it's old, like it's really
It's
old.
like the 70s. It has to
Okay.
be like the 70s, maybe even late 60s.
So maybe then the fucking that Keanu Reeves one is like a remake of that, because there's one with Keanu Reeves. That's
Which one?
exactly
Well, wait up. So these people go to a castle, right, and have their co-ed fun like
Yeah.
party time, right? And this dude's murdering these chicks, but it's not. You think it's a slasher film. You think it's gonna be either noir slasher, slow burn, or stupid, and it's actually the perfect mix of everything. And I remember there's one scene where the main girl, right, the innocent girl who wasn't involved in this, she's a virgin. She's not. All her slutty friends are the ones that are getting murdered. She's just fucking caught up in it. She's locked into a room, right, and she's trying to fucking like take the key out of the keyhole and make it land onto a piece of paper
Uh-huh.
and then slide it in so she can unlock it, right? So you're sitting there watching this girl do this, and you know the murderer is like murdering the other girls and all this stuff. So she's trying to do this, and the key falls, and it falls, but it lands off of the newspaper, and you're like, oh fuck. Like, you're like, oh, I can't believe it. And then you see a hand, and it's the murderer's hand picking up the key and putting it on the newspaper. And you're just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, an intense, amazing moment, like funny, stupid, whatever, right? I can't find the fucking movie. I can't find the movie. Like, I've tried looking for it.
Alright, there's.
Okay, so after about like 2 hours of research, I found out that the movie is called Torso. So right on this part, I'm gonna put the trailer. Just if you guys are interested in watching it, you can go ahead and just buy it. It's like $10 for the Blu-ray on eBay. But thank you for making it out all the way to this point. Thank you.
Now, from Cabo Ponte, the man who brought you War and Peace and Dr. Zhivago, comes a totally new motion picture experience. A journey into the bizarre, terrifying world of the psychosexual mind. Torso. It saturates the screen with terror.
I've called you here today for a good reason. What you have here are fragments of cloth.
Is one of these students a psychosexual killer?
Barbarously murdered just 1 week ago.
Or are they just playing erotic games? Not so innocent erotic games. Eager to test the limits of pleasure. A killer is stalking.
Well, that's a real good start. Why do all hang-ups come my way? Honey, even if you're queer or impotent, you're paying the price I charge just the same.
A psychosexual killer is stalking.
Son of a bitch!
What's happened?
That guy was spying on us.
Sean, what we care if he was? Come back, Sean.
A killer who takes his pleasure differently. Torso. It saturates the screen with terror. Torso. A gripping motion picture about a killer's perverted hunger aroused to an animal frenzy. aerosol. It saturates the screen with terror.
Faster Pussycat Kill Kill that inspired.
No, that lady's running over it.
Oh yeah, you're right
People.
for that. And then we have Thunderbolt.
Because Quentin Tarantino
It
finds some
can't-
weird.
it's not-
This webpage has a bunch of those not references, yeah. Well, you can call it references for Tarantino that got inspired for each movie. So we'll
This
look for
is
them.
the films we watch. We watched Zombie because it inspired Rodrigo Rodriguez to do Planet Terror, and then it was this movie that Quentin Tarantino said inspired him to do Death Proof, or at least was one of the inspiration. I know. Faster Pussycat, I understand. All these other ones, I understand. Like it's supposed to be a murderer murdering these women.
Yeah, it was almost like a slasher with a car, supposedly. Or
That's what
whatever.
it was supposed to. But then they turned on that fool because he sucked.
Yeah, it's because it's a revenge fucking. Almost, it's more of like a survival, but where the girls come on top and stuff. I like that movie.
I just saw The Nightingale, man, and that movie was all about revenge, about woman like revenging her dead husband and her dead baby, and all like terrible film. You think that film's gonna become like dudes are gonna get eviscerated, like Day of the Woman, or what is it called? I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
that's the classic of like revenge lady films. But this one was super intense, and I mean that like very realistic, very real. And I'm not talking like gory, ugly, but
Just the shit that
racism,
happened, yeah.
ugly old colonizations of Australia. There was such a mix
Just
of
graphical.
every
Well, no, not graphic. I mean like
the way the Aborigines were treated.
Yeah.
I mean, you went into this film. I went into this film thinking like, okay, this lady's gonna kill all these dudes, and it's gonna be like, even the times when it was emotional and sad and crying, you're just like, fuck, this movie's fucked up. And like I said, Old Boy is one of my favorites. Nightingale was up there because you know how Old Boy kind of switches you at
Yeah.
the end and does that thing. Like this one really was just like completely all the way, just a total mind fuck, constantly. That was a crazy film. Anyways, whatever. I
That's
went off the
fucking
topic.
crazy.
you gotta
No,
find
that's-
out which one it is.
That's cool, dude. That's what this.
Yeah, but
fucking-
yeah, I don't know what fucking film that is.
Well, this thing it's long list.
Let's
so
try
we
to-
gotta go through them all.
I swear to you, I swear to you, I've looked for this movie. I even asked the girlfriend. I still talk to the girlfriend I had that I lived with in Austin. I still talk to her. We're still super good friends.
She doesn't remember.
She's like, yo, I remember that shit being crazy.
So-
And I remember Robert Rodriguez giving you a Lone Star because that fool was
Damn.
just like giving people Lone Stars. And I was
It's a
like,
fucking beer from Austin.
Yeah.
It's fucking cheap
Yeah.
as shit and it tastes like piss.
Especially in Austin.
Anyways, dude, I was telling a story on the other podcast with Dion. She was telling me about like all these, because I used to go and get 50 cents beers at fucking Chicks on Thursdays. That's like one of the 50 cents beers was Lone Star. And then when I went to Austin, I was like, well, I'm not gonna Lone Star because they're fucking cheap as shit. And they're like, it's gonna be $5.
yeah.
I was like, get the fuck what? Lone Star, dude? No, fuck you. Just give me a fucking piss. I'll
Give
pay
me
more for that.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, I guess with that, dude, we should end it right here just because it's been a long one.
Sorry.
No, it's cool, dude.
Oh, that's
And-
better, man.
The power of editing too, so
Yeah, you
no
got
worries. But I wanted to shout out first. We had a new subscriber while we were doing the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you want to read it out there.
All right, so we have Heather Kaiser,
There you go. So if
Shout out Heather
Shout out
K.
Heather.
if she's fucking listening,
KH.
if she's watching the show, shout out, you fucking right on the money right now.
Yep.
But thank you guys for fucking listening. I hope we can keep like this shit going about
The whole pop.
video games, comics, whatever.
Hey, you know what, mijo? I'm gonna tell you, good job on the last one. I had a lot of people watch it, or at least my friends or whatever, and they said they really liked your editing work and what you did. So good job on Pop Mike's one.
Except for that, I had to fucking censor like
Oh yeah.
two of the clips. God
He
damn it,
was,
dude.
he was stressing out like, God damn, now I
Stupid
gotta,
ass-
I
stupid ass
gotta get rid of
WWE.
all this shit. It was ready.
So like I said, no WWE clips.
Alright.
We can talk WWE as long as.
No clips.
But just remember that when I'm talking about it, there's not gonna be any fucking.
We're gonna
clip.
put a WCW on the.
I'll put fucking AEW
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
fuck with them.
Yeah, we don't have to do it.
Just to fuck with them, dude. But anyways, with that said, dude, I am the creep.
I'm Dr. Porn.
And Sucio, baby, what's up?
All right, dude.
Stay
Later,
sweet,
guys.
Don't change.
Please
Have
click,
a great summer. Keep in touch.
click subscribe, like, and hopefully, dude, I'm gonna try to get a Patreon. so that maybe we can get a few bucks here and there.
So you can finally buy food.
So we can have I want to have a Crimson Ghost standing here
All right.
by maybe next month. Okay?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Shout out Pinko Machine.
I'm not gonna.
Shout out to masturbation.
All right. Anyways, well, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
La 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 la.